Okay, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone. Tonight we're going to discuss really the most important aspect of what we do, not just in selling mobile apps to local businesses, but really in any sort of sales. And it comes down to numbers. So we're going to talk about numbers as they relate to prospecting, as they relate to showing demo apps to potential customers, how that relates to sales. Once you've made your group of sales, what retention looks like. And then we're going to talk about hiring sales reps, because realistically, if you're not where you want to be, if you're not growing as fast as you'd like to grow, what you're going to find, the best way to speed that up is going to be to leverage the efforts of others. Certainly as a reseller in this business, or should I say as an enterprise reseller, on the one hand, we have resellers, and we certainly help those resellers as they go out and hire sales reps. And at the same time, we have sales reps who will actually go out and, in essence, hire sub-agents or sub-reps that will go out and actually produce under them, where they'll work together. Several situations where there are teams of reps that are working together, and that's something that you might want to take a look at as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start talking about prospecting. And when you're talking about prospecting, what you're really talking about is the lifeblood of the entire sales effort. If you have a piss poor prospecting effort, what you're going to find is you're going to have a piss poor sales effort. You're going to have a piss poor company. You're going to simply have piss poor production. And what I challenge you to do when you get started in this business, whether you've been at it for a day, a week, a month, or 5 years, really challenge yourself to work as hard for yourself as you're willing to work for someone else. It is amazing. The president just passed some legislation in the last few days pertaining to overtime, where a certain segment of the population out there, as they're working their jobs 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 hours a week, are not being compensated for overtime. Well, I'm sure that there are very few people that are actually out there working in their businesses 70 hours a week. Now, I remember when I first got started, I had another business, and when we first started, that other business was what was paying the bills. So it was important that I made that my priority, and in the time that I had left over, that's where I would invest my time in this business, really the nooks and crannies of the life that I had. So, as far as like watching TV, NBC, CBS, whether you're watching HBO or CNN, or, for those sports fanatics out there, I put all that stuff on hold. And instead of watching that nonsense, I would watch a training video late at night. And that would be something that would work for me. I have reps that will get on Facebook at night. You're talking about time that otherwise would be unproductive time. And what they'll do when they get on Facebook is they will go ahead and message businesses. For instance, I have a sales rep in Nashville, Tennessee, and she sold an app for a ladies' clothing boutique called Junkie Trunk Boutique. Well, after she sold that app, what she did next is she went out into Facebook, and she found businesses that had 10,000 likes or even more, because she knew those were businesses that were interested in promoting their businesses. And what she started doing is she started emailing those ladies' clothing boutiques that she found, saying, hey, we did this app for Junkie Trunk Boutique. Download it, take a look at it, see if it's something that you're interested in, and if so, go ahead and get back in touch with me. Well, in order to play that game, again, it comes down to numbers, and you've actually got to send that message out to hundreds of businesses to be able to get a return. Well, what this lady was doing is she was spending her evenings, again, instead of just sitting there and watching brainless TV, she was actually doing her research on Facebook, and she was sending out these email messages to all of these businesses, and literally she had businesses contacting her on a daily, weekly, monthly business, trying to find out from her if they could get a free demo, trying to find out from her if they could see exactly what a demo could look like for their business. So on the one hand, if you're busy right now working another job that's a full-time job, what you might want to consider doing is you might want to consider hiring some sales reps. And we're going to talk about what we were doing as far as hiring sales reps, and what the production of a ragtag crew of people, how it can all add up to be something that's actually pretty special. So again, I challenge you as a business owner, and if you're a sales rep on here, well, guess what? Unless someone's paying you a salary, you too are a business owner, because you're literally a 1099 employee. That being said, you are self-employed. And as a self-employed individual in this business, you want to be thinking about working a 40-hour standard work week. Now, something that I learned pretty much right away when we got started was you don't want to spend your time during those production hours of the day. So for most people, that's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Well, guess what you don't want to be doing during that time? You don't want to be building apps between 8 and 5. You don't want to be building demos between 8 and 5. Those things are not going to make you money. What you want to be doing is you want to be going out and walking through doors. I think if you set yourself a goal to go out and walk through 60 doors on the day, that is a healthy number to shoot for. Again, in an 8-hour working day, we're talking about walking through less than 10 doors an hour. Okay, so that's what you want to focus on. Get out there, talk to people, let them know what you have. Now, one of the things you're going to want to keep in mind when you're out there and you're talking to people is you're going to want to realize no matter what you thought before you got into this business, you've got to realize that people have no idea what you're talking about. They don't know anything about mobile apps. And because they don't know anything about mobile apps, and I'm talking not mobile apps for Starbucks or mobile apps for your bank, or mobile apps for American Airlines, or all these big huge companies. We're talking about mobile apps for Joe's Barbecue, for Bob's Barbershop, okay? And that's information that's not readily available. So because people don't know anything about that, you literally have to go out there and walk through the doors. Now, on a day, if you go out there and walk through the doors, and you're walking through 60 doors for the day, you can expect that on that week, if you're out there for 5 days during that week, you're going to walk through 200 to 250 individual doors. That's because some of the doors you walk in, they're going to tell you you've got to come back on Tuesday and meet with a guy named Bob. And Bob is only here on Tuesdays between 3 and 7 p.m., so that's when you need to come back. Awesome. Write it down, put it on your schedule, and get back there when they're telling you when you need to get back there and see Bob. You're going to have other instances where they tell you you've got to call this person, email this person. Maybe the person you've got to contact is in another city. My lady in Nashville, Tennessee walked through a restaurant called Sambuca. Well, it was called Sambuca Nashville, and they told her, hey, you want to speak to somebody? You're going to need to speak to, it was a lady, she was in marketing, and she was in Dallas, Texas. So needless to say, the lady in Nashville thought they were giving her the runaround, but it turned out they actually had 4 locations, and the lady in Dallas was the one that actually handled all of this sort of marketing stuff. So at the end of the day, that turned into a 4-app sale. So we now have, and you can download it right now, we have Sambuca Nashville, Sambuca Uptown, Sambuca Houston, and the fourth one is Sambuca 360. So the key again is you want to get out there, work as hard for yourself as you're willing to work for somebody else. Spend 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, pounding the pavement, going out there and talking to people. Listen, if you're just getting started in this business, or if you've been at this for 6 months, or you've been at this for 9 months, or you've been at this for 3 years, and you're just getting started over again, maybe the training that you're getting, the fact that you're not alone, and that we've got already over 50 people that are signed up to get this training on a weekly basis, maybe you recognize that, hey, you know what? I got started. Maybe I wasn't as focused as I should have been. Maybe I didn't know exactly what to do then. But you know what? There no longer is there an excuse. Now you know what to do. So it's just a matter of getting out there and doing it. So what you want to do, third from the bottom, is you want to target 3 industries. Now, keep in mind, if you say to yourself, I'm going to contact restaurants, there are times of the day that you can't talk to anybody in a restaurant. So what are you going to do? Well, my suggestion is if you decide you're going to call on churches also, chances are you can call on churches at the time of day that you can't call on restaurants. If you're calling on hair salons, you're going to be able to call on hair salons at times that you can't reach the other 2. So by focusing on 3 different industries, it's really going to do wonders for you. Now, as you're doing so, you want to keep in mind that you want to be looking for industries and businesses where you have an opportunity to actually see the owner on premises. Let's say, for instance, you target tattoo parlors. Most tattoo parlors, the owner is either on premises or the owner owns 4 tattoo parlors, and so they're not at this location. You've got to catch them at a different location. And we have an app for a tattoo parlor called Graffitis Ink Tattoo. Graffitis Ink Tattoo. And wouldn't you know it, they've got 3 or 4 locations in Richmond, Virginia. So when the rep went in and was talking about $1,500 and $100 a month, there was no hesitation on behalf of that business because they were able to look at that decision and say, well, goodness, if we've got 3 locations, that's like spending $500 and $33 a month per location. That's peanuts. Lord knows if they've got 4 locations, it makes it even better. So by targeting 3 industries each day, and then what does it say next? It says that when you go out, so let's say, for instance, you make a list of 10 pizza places, 10 hair salons, 10 tattoo parlors. You've got a list of 30 businesses. If you do the next thing here on the list, go next door. That's right. For every door on your list, hit 10 doors for each one of those doors. What's going to happen is you're going to get to the first pizza restaurant. You're going to park your car. Now, if you walk in, talk to the pizza guy, get in your car and go to the next place, you're going to spend $1 million on gas. You're going to spend a ton of time wasting time driving around in your car. So, my suggestion, you walk in that door regardless of what happens. Don't get back in your car. Instead, walk up the street, go to the next business, and I would walk 4 or 5 businesses up. Once you get there, turn across the street. Now you can come down the street 10 businesses, then cross the street again, walk up the street another 4 businesses. Guess what you just did? You literally hit 5 doors instead of 1. Or maybe you hit 15 doors. Maybe you hit 25 doors instead of 1. And literally, if you make that your business to do, for each one of the doors that you walk through on a daily basis, you're going to see the number of contacts that you have go through the roof. And the same thing is going to happen for you that happened for us, where the very first customer we signed up was a bail bonds company We were not targeting bail bonds companies. I had no idea that bail bonds was a good industry to even hit. We were trying to go through the doors of 2nd Street Bistro. Don't you know it took maybe 5 weeks before we actually had the appointment where we sold that app? However, the very first day we went there, we sold an app for $1,500 and $100 a month to a bail bonds company right across the street. In addition to that, we also sold the bail bonds company a website for $3,000. That's right. So we targeted 2nd Street Bistro. We walked into 20 businesses. We got, I would say, 4 or 5 businesses where they told us, hey, you need to come back on this day at this time, meet with this person, call this person, email this person. So we got 4 or 5 of those out of that one stop, plus we got that appointment that resulted in a sale, $4,500 in upfront revenue, along with $100 a month. And that is really what this whole thing is all about. So understand that your goal each day should be to go out there and walk through enough doors that you get 3 demo apps set up for the day. Now, again, when you walk through the door, my suggestion is keep your eyes on the forehead of the business owner that you just ran down. What you're looking for is you're looking for them to scrunch their forehead. When they scrunch their forehead, they are telling you that they have no idea what you're talking about. When that happens, grab your smartphone, open it up, and show them. Here is a demo, or here is a live app that we did for 2nd Street Bistro. Inside of this app, here is their menu. Here are their coupons. Here is their photo gallery. Here is their tip calculator. Here is a customer comment card. Here's an employment application. Here is their Instagram and their Facebook and their website. All of this stuff is right here inside of their app. What we're doing is out here talking to local businesses about doing a free demo for your business so that you can see exactly how powerful this demo app, this mobile app can be for your business, for your customers. Really what it's geared to do, it's geared to help you get more customers and keep the ones that you already have. So that's what it's all about. Now, keep in mind that in this business, we're actually making 2 separate sales. The first sale that we're making is what we're talking about here, the prospecting, getting that customer or that potential customer to agree to look at the free demo. That is the very first sale that you are making. Now, during this sale, you are not going to have your pitch book. During this process of setting up this appointment, you're not going to answer any questions. What? That's right. Any question that they ask you, the way you answer it is show them a demo, tell them you're going to make a demo for them, tell them any question they ask when you come back on Wednesday with their free demo. That's when you're not only going to answer their question, but you're going to do so by showing them the free demo. My mama always said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And if a picture is worth 1,000 words, when I come back with that custom demo app that is branded to your business, that is going to answer every question you can dream up. Now, why don't I want to answer any questions when I'm just trying to prospect and set my appointment? Because if you start spending your time answering your questions, what is going to happen is your customer is literally on their 4th question. They are going to ask you, how much the app costs. Now, I have no problem talking about my pricing. I just don't want to do it until I'm in a position to close. You're not in a position to close that sale until you are sitting there looking at their free demo app. Now, I refuse to prejudge my prospect at this point. If they agree to look at the free demo, and I'm talking right here in the middle of the pack, if they have a 1% interest in looking at that free demo, I am going to show it to them, period. So my goal for the day is to schedule 3 appointments. And typically I'm going to schedule my appointment where today is Monday, and my appointment is going to be set up for Wednesday. That gives me plenty of time to get my demo done. I'm going to come back. I'm going to review the demo. I'm going to show them my presentation. We're going to go over pricing. We're going to close. But as far as prospecting, my goal is every day to schedule 3 appointments. If I can schedule 3 appointments a day, that's 15 for the week. And that sort of activity on a weekly basis is going to help you to create something called pipeline. And pipeline is so powerful because when you engage in creating that pipeline, you're setting yourself up in a situation where pretty much you're going to be making money every single week. You're going to be closing deals every single week because every week you have brand new people to see. Every week you've got people to follow up on that you saw last week. Every week you're going to have people that had to get rescheduled because they couldn't see you last week. You're going to have the people that had a flat tire and missed the appointment. All of those things are going to happen. You're going to have apps going live. The fact that apps are going live means that new people are going to be downloading those apps. And guess what? Business owners download apps. And when they do and see that you're the one that made the app for their barber, who do you think they're going to call now that they just got the great idea to get an app themselves? So now all of a sudden referrals start coming in, whether they're people that saw the app and are calling you, or whether it's the business owner simply telling their friends, because the reality is that business owners know business owners. You are who you associate with. Okay, last point before we go to the next slide, and this is really cool. Write this down. Advertisers advertise. Write this down. Advertisers advertise. When I first got into this business, or should I say, I don't know if we'd pulled the trigger yet, so maybe it was during the weeks that led up to actually signing up and giving my credit card and getting started. What happened was I went and took a job with an advertising company just to get a refresher on Advertising 101. And it was neat because when I went through the guy's training class, he had the neatest thing where he said, and I suggest that you do this. And if you hire salespeople, I would suggest you have your salespeople do this as well. He said, what I want you to do is I want you to spend the next week, every advertising piece that you see, pick it up. In fact, get 2. Get the newspaper every day for a week. Get the coupon magazines. Get the Val Pack. When you go to the coffee shop, they have little community newsletters there. Grab those. Go to the Chamber of Commerce. Get everything that they've got there. Literally get your hands on every advertising piece, whether it's big or whether it's small, that you can get your hands on for your area. Then what you do, because you've got 2 of each, what you do is go through there and actually cut out every single advertisement that you see in every one of those periodicals. So what will happen is when you look at the newspaper, on one side of the newspaper you have an ad, maybe it's a square. On the next side it's a rectangle. So when you cut out the square, you end up chopping the other thing in half. That's why by having two newspapers, you can actually get whole copies of each ad. Okay, so now you've cut out all these ads. What do you do next? You're going to group them together. You're going to find that Dyer Chevrolet advertises everywhere. Why? Because advertisers advertise. So you're going to take the 7 ads for Dyer Chevrolet and you're going to put them all together and staple them. You're going to do that and organize them all the way through for all of the businesses. Again, advertisers advertise. So you're looking at businesses that have bought into 5 advertisements. Some have bought into 10. Some have simply done 1. It's going to tell you a lot about these businesses. One of the other things is you're going to be shocked at how chintzy some of these advertisements are. And you're going to be almost embarrassed for some of these businesses that they would even put their money towards doing something like that. So when you're out there and you're talking to these businesses, you're going to ask them, look, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at all these different ads. How much do you pay for these things? How many zones do you do? I just saw one of the coupon magazines. I know they have 9 different zones. How many did you do? So once you start getting an idea of how much people are spending on advertising, talk to those people about taking those advertisements, and now that you're doing an app, you don't get rid of those advertisements. What you do is you add the app and the QR codes for the app, you add that to the advertisement. So, Mr. Customer, if I could show you a way to make the advertising dollars that you're spending or investing, if I could show you a way to make those advertising dollars 100% more effective, is that something you'd be interested in? Of course. How can you do that? By adding the fact that you have a mobile app to your ad. Because now someone sees your ad and instead of throwing it away, they download your app. What is the definition of an app? It's your business living on your customer's smartphone. So they just took your ad and converted that into putting your business on their phone. Now, folks, you're not going to meet anyone who's lazier than me. And if you're lazy like me, then please understand that what we're talking about here is the shortcut. So work as hard for yourself as you will for someone else. Folks, we're talking about a 40-hour standard work week. So what that means is if you're going to jump both feet into this, and this is what you're going to do, mobile apps, I don't want to see you making demos during the day. That's a lazy, scared, cop-out way of getting out of it. Okay? I don't want to see you making apps. What I want to see you is going out there and walking through doors. Now, the reality is if you have yourself 2 sales reps, 3 sales reps that are actually out there going to work, you're going to find that you actually have to be home making apps, and you've got to be home making demos, and you've got to be home supporting those reps that are out there in the field. But if you're going to be doing the sales effort, then being at home working on the computer is a cop-out. You need to be out there 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, just like you would if you were working for someone else. 60 doors a day is 200 to 250 doors a week. You want to be going over the free demo script. I'm going to go over that here in just a second. But that's what you want to be reading to each customer. If they are 1% interested, they get a free demo. When you're talking to these people, Find out. If you get there and they say to you, you've got to come back and talk to Bob, he's the owner, ask him, so how long have you worked here? Oh, I've been here about 2 years. Oh, is that right? Well, in the 2 years that you've been here, what would you say is the decision-making process here in this company? Write it down. What is your decision-making process? In this company, how are decisions made? Well, I'm the sales manager. Usually, I look at whatever it is. If I think it looks good, then I recommend it to Joe, the owner. If Joe likes it, then he has Sally take a look at it. That's his wife, and then they decide together. Awesome. Joe, I have no problem showing you the free demo. However, if you like it, I want you to agree that you will help me get in front of Joe, the owner, so I can show it to him. Is that fair? And if they say that's fair, I will show that free demo to a manager. I'll show it to the janitor. I'll show it to anybody if it's going to get me in front of the decision maker, if that's what the decision-making process is inside of that company. Again, the goal is to schedule 3 demos every day. I had a sales rep who was up in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, and he was the most prolific rep that I ever had as far as scheduling demos. His best day was scheduling 9 demos for the day. Now think about this. If you're going after businesses that are big businesses with lots of owners, lots of managers, and lots of process in their decisions, like let's say you're calling on churches and the decision has to go through a committee, you want to make sure, again, that you're targeting 3 industries, because all of a sudden, that's a long sales cycle if you're calling on those churches. So what you're missing out on are the ones where you walk in the door, there's the owner, they're scheduling an appointment on the spot, you come back to see them, and they're the ones making the decision. So if you're going to call on some big businesses, make sure you've got some individual businesses out there as well. Hair salons, tattoo parlors, the electronic cigarette stores, some smaller bars, some mom and pop restaurants. Make sure you're targeting them as well. Now, what I want to do before we get here into the next page, if I can get out of this thing, is I really quickly just want to go over the free demo call script. This is something that if you are in the crew, if you don't already have this, then request it from me. If you're smart, take a screenshot of this right now, because this is the magic right here. Now, because we're talking about sales being a numbers game, being successful in this business has very little to do with being good. You don't have to make the best looking apps. You don't have to be the best salesperson, the best closer. You've just got to be the person that's going to go out there, have a system, and stick to the basics of that system and work those numbers over and over and over again. So it's like when we were talking about McDonald's and the Big Mac. Is the Big Mac a good sandwich? I don't think so. But why does McDonald's sell millions probably on a daily basis? I'll tell you why. Because everywhere you go, it's the same. It's 2 all-beef patties. They put on special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles. What do they put on the bun? You know what they put on the bun. Sesame seeds. And it's the same every single time. So when you walk through the door of a business, this is what I want to hear you saying. Hey, my name is Ken. I'm working with Next Wave Designs. I was hoping you could help me. Who would be the person responsible for the marketing or promotion of your business? Oh, that's me. Oh, great. Well, again, my name is Ken, and this is just going to take a minute or two. My company, Next Wave Designs, develops iPhone and Android mobile apps for small businesses like yours, helping to bring you new customers and increase your repeat business. Now, the apps contain features that are a tremendous value to your customers. In fact, we are convinced that these apps will have such great value, we would like to develop a demo app for your business at absolutely no cost to you. All we ask is that you take 10, 15 minutes to review the app when it's complete. Fair enough? Great. We can get started on it right away. Now, let me just get some information from you. Do you have a card? Great. Let's see. It's got your name, your business name, your website address, your contact email. Everything I need is right here. We should have this demo done in 48 hours. So let's set up a time after that to review it. So today is Monday. Let's set up a time for Wednesday where I can come back and meet with you. And that's what it is all about when you are scheduling. So pull out your schedule book, write it down, and ask them, listen, when I come out here on Wednesday at 3, is that going to be a good time to meet with you? You would be shocked the number of businesses that will schedule an appointment with you at the busiest time of their day. So ask them, are you sure you're going to have 15, 20 minutes to meet with me then? Great. Now, when I come out, we're going to be talking about the app. Is there anyone else that helps you make decisions when it comes to technology, your website, your social media? Oh, Janice helps you? Who's Janice? Oh, Janice is one of your waitresses? Awesome. But she helps you with your social media? Great. Is that a time that Janice is going to be here? Because we want her in on this appointment as well. You see, when we come back, that's when we want to close them. And the best time to make a sale is when you have all of the decision makers present. So that's what I want to do as far as scheduling my appointment when I am there and I'm meeting with my customer on the front end to be able to schedule my appointment. So we were talking about prospecting. That's where we're literally scheduling our demo apps. And you want to set yourself a goal. If you're going to be full-time and you're going to be selling, if you're going to hire sales reps, you want to find out ahead of time. Now listen, when we're hiring sales reps, they're 1099 employees. That means we cannot tell them what to do. However, I still want to help them be successful. So I want to find out what their goals are so I can help them to achieve those goals. So sales rep, are you going to be working full-time or part-time? Oh, full-time? Great. Let me tell you what that looks like. Working full-time looks like making 10 to 15 sales presentations every single week. That means getting 10 to 15 demo requests every single week. Now, the reality is you're going to want to schedule 15. Why? Well, because this is a numbers game and people are busy. No one's busier than business owners. So what's going to happen is every single week you're going to have anywhere from 2 to 5 of those appointments that are going to fall through and the owner is going to need to reschedule. No problem. I'm prepared for that. What is going to be a good time that I can come back out and meet with you? Reschedule that appointment. Literally what you're going to find, and we were talking before about pipeline. This is one of the cool things about pipeline, is the first week you're out there, I'm telling you right here, if you schedule 15 appointments and only have 10 sits, that means you're going to have 5 other businesses that you're going to meet with over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks. So next week, you're going to go out and you're going to schedule a brand new 15 appointments. You're going to have 5 of those drop off, but you're going to have 2 of them from the first week that are going to happen. The third week, you're only going to have to go out and schedule 7 appointments because you're going to have 2 more from the first week, and you're going to have 3 from the second week that are all going to come back, and you're just going to keep on going as far as pipeline. Again, as we talked about, when you schedule that appointment, verify that that time is okay. Identify if there's anyone else that needs to be there during that appointment. And if you will do these things, what you're going to find is that you're going to make 2 to 4 sales on a weekly basis. Again, that doesn't mean that you're good or bad. It means that you're out there and you're showing it. Now, keep in mind, when you go out there and you're talking to your people, the only answer you're looking for is either yes or it's no. Those are the 2 best things that can happen when you go on an appointment. Now, when your customer tells you they want to think about it, or maybe, that's not so good. Literally, when I have a customer tell me that they want to think about it, I'm going to say to them, you know what, that is awesome. And I'm going to start packing my stuff up. And their defenses are going to come way down. And as I'm packing my stuff up, I'm going to ask them, what was it that you all wanted to think about it exactly? Did you have some questions? Besides the money, write this down. Do you have a pen in your hand? Do you have a piece of paper? Write this down. Besides the money, Mr. Customer, what is it that's keeping us from doing business today? Besides the money, Mr. Customer, what is it that's keeping you from buying? Are there any questions that I can answer for you? Is it my company? Is it the product? Is it me? You see, there's only 4 reasons your customer's not going to buy. Something's wrong with your company. Something's wrong with your product. Something's wrong with you. Or it's the money. When the moment comes that you get your customer to tell you that the problem is the money is the reason that they're not buying, I'll ask this question. Mr. Customer, let me ask you this. If this app was free, nothing down, nothing monthly, would I already have a signed contract? Would I already be driving down the street with a sale? So besides the money, is there anything else that's keeping you from buying? No, it's just the money? Well, let me clarify my thinking, Mr. Customer. We have a $1,500 payment. That's up front, $750 down, $750 upon completion. We've got $100 a month. When you say the reason you're not buying is because of the money, are we talking about the upfront money? Or are we talking about the monthly fee? 9 times out of 10, my sales reps hear, no, the monthly fee is fine. It's the $1,500. So on the $1,500, we're talking about $750. If I could make that more comfortable for you, can I earn your business when I'm out here with you today? Well, Ken, what did you mean? Well, let's see. You know, we do take credit cards. We take Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and we take Discover. What that means, Mr. Customer, is you could give me a Visa. We can put $750 on there. When I come back with your completed app in 5 to 15 days, at that time, we can put the other $750 on the Visa, or we can even put the other $750 on a MasterCard. What that will do, it will give you more flexibility. If I could, Mr. Customer, can I earn your business when I'm out here with you today? If they tell you no, 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 my question is, well, let me ask you this. If the $750, if that's too much, what can you afford? Typically, the answer that we've heard back, $200, $250, $300, $500. Those are the answers that we've heard back when we've asked that question. So when they say $200 or $250, I ask them if they can do $300. When they say, yeah, they think they can stretch to $300, then I say, well, let me ask you this. If I could set this up where you wrote me a check for $300 today, you wrote me a check for $300 when I came back in 5 to 15 days with your completed app, and then when we start charging your credit card when everything goes live for Apple, we'll charge you the $100, but we'll charge you the $300 on top of that, so it'll be $400, and we'll do that every month until it's paid off. By doing that, that would certainly offer you a tremendous amount of flexibility. If I can get that approved by the office, Mr. Customer, can I earn your business when I'm out here with you today? Customer says yes. I'm getting on the phone. I'm calling into the office. Hey, it's Ken. I'm sitting here with Joe from Joe's Barbecue. I showed him the demo that you guys made for him. He loves it. He likes the push notifications. He likes having his menu right there. And he's super psyched about being able to have the news tab and having that ticker running across the bottom of the app. He thinks that's really cool. We went through the dollars and cents. He said that everything looks good, but the $750 was more than he had anticipated. He wanted to know if we could set it up where he wrote us a check for $300 today, $300 when I come back in 5 days with the finished app, and then once it goes live, we simply charge the card for $400 a month until it's paid off, and then it drops back to the $100. He wanted to know if we could do that, because if we could earn his business while I'm out here with him today. I wanted to call in and get an approval. Oh, sure. Hold on. I'll write that down. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh no, he won't have any problem with that. Oh, no problem. Great. I will let him know right now. Yes, I will. Okay, hold on. Before I hang up the phone, he wants me to shake your hand and welcome you as one of our customers to the world of Next Wave Designs. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go over all the details with him right now. Okay, thanks. Joe, this is fantastic. I just talked with my boss, and basically what he said is that we can do this pricing. All he's looking for in return, we want to be able to get 3 referrals from you. So once your app goes live, we want you to have your buddies look at it because we know you know other business owners. I'm going to come back and meet with you, and I simply want you to give me the names of 3 other businesses that'll be willing to take a look at a free demo app. Fair enough? If you'll do that, write us a letter after you've had the app for 60 days, then we'll be more than happy to be able to provide you with this sort of financing without having any interest get tacked on top of it. So get something in return. If you're one of those people that wants to drop your price from $1,500 to $1,250 or from $1,500 to $1,000, get some value for it. Do some trade. There's nothing better than getting $250 in gift cards from a particular restaurant that you're getting in trade for them to be able to drop the price to get them to do business with you that particular day. So what we were just talking about were some ways to go from getting 2 sales to getting 4 sales. I mean, that's really it. If you're going to go out there and you're going to make yourself 10 presentations, 15 presentations in a week, you are literally staring down 2 to 4 sales. The only question is, how good are you at helping the customer to be able to afford the mobile app? You know, when you look at what our cost structure is in this business, we have so much room to be flexible. And because we're running their credit card on a monthly basis anyway, I'm more than happy to get a deal where I'm getting $500 today, $200 a month, and then once it's paid off 10 months from now, it drops back down to $100 a month. We sold an app to a skating rink. It's called Skate Country West Bank. It's in New Orleans. The guy has got a rental payment of like $25,000 a month. So does he have $1,500? Well, yes, he does, and no, he doesn't. The sales rep, recognizing that the guy had money, did not want to offer him creative financing. So that was a bad thing. The good thing is that he did follow up with the guy. And 3 months after the first time that he walked through the door with that demo app, he was able to close the deal by saying to the guy, write me a check for $500, give me a credit card, we're going to zap it for $200 every month. Once it's paid off, it goes back to $100. And literally, that was about 18 months ago or so. So the guy had paid that off some time ago, and we're still charging his card every month. It wasn't until we introduced the creative financing that made that opportunity a real sales opportunity. Now, I want you to keep in mind, because you're going to hear so many people talking about selling $1,500, $100 a month. Listen, folks, I've got deals that we've sold for $500 and $60 a month. And you know what? Every single month, I run their card for $60. And that $500 in revenue that we took in is $500 more than we would have gotten if we would have turned down that business. What's really cool is when you get that deal at $500 and $60 a month, or heck, if you even get started in this business and your first 20 deals are $500 and $60 a month. When you go out there and talk to someone about buying it for $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,500, they're going to look at your book of business and they are going to assume that everybody paid that same price. So again, don't settle on getting 2 sales when all you have to do is work with the dollars and cents to be able to get 4 sales. Whether you're keeping the whole amount there and you're just getting creative on how they're paying it, or whether you're dropping your money, in either instance, pick up that business, folks. It is important, and you can do it. For the sales that we've signed up, 75% seems like a good persistency rate for me. You know, under no circumstance are you going to keep 100% of your customers. We've lost customers for all kinds of reasons. We've got some customers where they were horses that we led to the water. They simply wouldn't drink, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, because you know what? You paid the $1,500. You paid that to have the app built. The monthly fee, that's what you're paying to keep that app live. So if you want to get an app and you want to cancel it 30, 60, 90, 120 days later, hey, I'm going to try and talk you out of it. I mean, goodness gracious. And don't, for 1 minute think that that's a normal activity. But if you get sales reps out there and you start making a lot of sales, then you can expect that you're going to have customers just like we have that sign up and 30 days, 60 days, 90 days later, they cancel. Oh, well, see you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for the $1,500 and the $300 that you paid in your monthly fee. Thanks for that. And you know what? If you ever decide you want to come back, then we'll open the doors and allow you to come back. Now, of course, the best way to keep your customers is to help your customers to get downloads. Help them get 100, 200, 500, or 1,000 downloads, because more than likely those people aren't going anywhere. When we talk about hiring sales reps, and again, if you don't have the time, if you don't have the skill, if you don't have the interest in going out there and walking through the doors yourself, there are people that are out there that would love the opportunity to be able to do so. What you want to do, number one, is you've got to provide them with the tools to help them be successful. When we got into this business, we're in Vero Beach, Florida, and our first sales reps, we had people that were in Ohio, Milwaukee, Richmond, Virginia, Orlando, Florida, Tucson, Arizona, Nashville, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana. We had people all over the place, up in Connecticut, New Jersey, and because we wanted to make sure that these people looked like they were branded to our business. We wanted to make sure that they had business cards, that they had flyers, that they had a pitch book. In the beginning, we started by actually getting the color copies printed out, buying pitch books from Office Depot and actually putting them together and shipping them to them. Then when we saw people drop like flies, it was like, you know what? I have a better idea. How about we hire people that have got laptops, hire people that have got iPads, then we can simply give them the PowerPoint presentation. They can download it on there. Now it's costing us less money. We're going to go to Office Depot and you can get 100 business cards made in no time. Basically what will happen is you bring it in there and they'll put that business card 10 on a page, make 10 copies and cut them. So you've got 100 business cards for less than 20 bucks. Get some color flyers printed up and you're off. You've got your sales presentation on your iPad or on your laptop, and you've got all the tools that you need to be successful. Now, when we first got started, we thought, my gosh, this is the greatest thing we've ever seen. Every customer that we go talk to is going to want to buy an app, period. So every sales rep that we talk to, they're going to want to sell apps. Well, what we learned the hard way is just because we have the coolest thing to sell since sliced bread, just because people talk about how they would love to go out and sell this, does not mean that they're actually going to get off the couch and go do something. My suggestion to you is that you only hire people who have business-to-business sales experience. Unless you are going to stick that person in the car with you or with someone else who is going to hold their hand and go out in the field with them, unless that is the case, you want to hire people that have business-to-business sales experience. That way, when they go through the door and have a gatekeeper tell them that they're not interested, when they go and find out how challenging it can be to locate the owner, they're not going to be freaked out. In fact, if you find someone that's already out in the business world selling something, what a great thing for them to be able to add on to what they're already out there selling. Now, in order to be able to hire good salespeople, you must have an attractive sales compensation plan. What we did, we started out in this business by selling the apps for $1,500 and $100 a month. We were paying our sales reps $750, which is 50% of the money that comes in up front. On the back end, we were paying them $10 a month. Whether you're paying them $10 a month, $20 a month, by including them in the back end, it's a beautiful thing, because now you're looking at a situation where your sales reps are the ones that have the relationship with the customer, not you. For us, where we were in Florida and we've got Lisa who's in Nashville, Tennessee, or Michael who's in Tucson, Arizona, I don't want to have to go knock on the door of that business when their credit card declines, or when their credit card is when it is expired. By having my sales rep tied into the monthly fee, that gets them involved in that. Now, one of the neat things is you're going to have sales reps, if you hire enough of them, that are going to come in the door that are just going to make a couple sales and they're going to disappear. No problem. I'm obviously not paying them on a monthly basis because they've disappeared. So then we just make that a house account and we provide them our service inside. But again, you've got to have an attractive sales comp plan. If my sales reps go out there and they make a sale for $500, they're going to make $250 up front, and then they're going to make $10 a month on the back end of it. If it's a situation where the customer's writing us a check for $300 now, and they're writing us a check for $305 days when the app is done, and then they're going to write us a check for $300 for the next 3 months, well, every one of those $300 checks, we get 150 of that. The sales rep gets 150 of that. So we just try and be as fair as we possibly can. Understand this whole presentation today has all been about how this is just a numbers game. Understand that you're going to have to hire 10 sales reps just to get 1 or 2 reps that are going to be with you 90 days from now. You might even get lucky and hire a sales rep that actually brings somebody else on. Now, I suggest to you that you look at your marketplace, because where we're located in Vero Beach, Florida, this is a town. And because this is a town, the last thing I wanted to do was to hire 10 sales reps in my town. So we went to Craigslist, and with Craigslist, we were putting sales ads in. And by doing so, many of the sales ads that we were, I think that 99% of all the ads that we've done have been free on Craigslist. So if you decide you want to put an ad in Craigslist in Los Angeles or in Atlanta or in Houston or in big cities, then what you're going to find is that you're going to have to pay Craigslist like $25 or something. And if you're doing that, hey, that's fine. You will get a lot of phone calls, but what we've done is we have literally focused on the areas where we can do it for free. Now, there's a question: what system do we use to track and manage our sales and our payments? Do we use a CRM? BA actually has a CRM, which is neat because they've got a free one which you can use. They also have one that you can upgrade and get a white label where you can have it branded for your business. We actually did that for a while until we realized that our sales reps weren't using it. So why pay for something that they're not going to use? And after that, I mean, basically most of our folks have got like a schedule book where they're just keeping track of everything there. And we encourage them, of course, to do so. So it's extremely low tech. I manage all of my sales reps. I manage all of our sales, all of our resellers using Microsoft Excel. And we've got simply a spreadsheet, and we have everybody broken down and listed on the spreadsheet, all of their sales, We keep track on a monthly basis exactly the dollars that have come in. We actually had some technicality, can't even speak. We had some technical difficulties at one point where the loyalty tabs were not working. And we actually had one customer that told us they weren't going to pay as long as it wasn't working. No problem. I can actually go back when it's tax time, and every single one of our payments, whether it was $50, $60, $75, $85, $100, $118, $125, those then we also have the people, we've got one that's $118, one that's $154, one that is $325. So those are all monthly fees that people are paying. We're running their credit cards for. And every month we just go into Excel and then list the fact that it's there. And I'm sure there's plenty of tools that are out there where you can become more efficient and use high-tech tools. Use them. They're certainly out there. There's tons and tons and tons of them. Personally, I'm a low-tech guy in a high-tech world, which is absolutely hysterical. But literally, I do encourage you to hire a sales rep or 2 or 3 and then learn how to manage and organize and leverage those efforts of other people to get better efforts for your business. Now, I want you to take a look at these numbers here because these numbers for these reps, this is pretty darn close to what our business looks like. Hired a lady named Lisa. She's got 15 sales. Got a guy named Lewis. He's got 25. Got a lady named Adair. She's got 16. Got a guy named Michael who has 12. A guy named Josh who disappeared, who's got 5. They're all now house accounts. Josh doesn't get any monthly fee because Josh just disappeared. We've got Brian. He's got 10 sales. Then we've got 5 other sales reps that have combined for 18 sales. All 5 of those people, poof, disappeared. Don't return phone calls. So add it up. We've got those 18 sales plus Josh's 5 sales. That's 23 sales that even though we started out paying out a monthly fee on that, we're no longer paying a monthly fee on that because the sales rep is nowhere to be found. But when you add those numbers together, that is 101 app sales. So literally, that's what your business can look like if you go out there and get a bunch of sales reps. And when I went out there and got a bunch of sales reps, what I pretty much did is I nailed myself to a chair. Because when these guys go on sales calls and they need help closing, who do they call? They call me. They can get me on the phone with them and their customers to get the closing assistance that they need. Lewis is an idiot. Lewis does not retain anything. However, Lewis goes to work. And because Lewis goes to work, he consistently contacts me to get information to help him manage his customers. Then we have Adair. For the first 7 sales that Adair made, every single one of them, she called me 2 to 5 times during that sales call. On her 8th sale, she did not call me. I got a text from her saying, "Hey, Ken, I just left the bank." Because what we do, because we're in Vero Beach, Florida, and we have sales reps that are around the country, what we did is we simply hooked up with banks like Chase or SunTrust or M&T, where we have a branch here locally and they have a branch where they are locally. So what Adair does is she makes a sale, then she goes to Chase or SunTrust, she deposits that check for $750 into our business account, and she's 3 states away from us. Guess what? The very next day, those funds are available in our account, and at that point in time, we can go ahead, literally, she makes the sale on Wednesday, we have the commissions and the funds available on Thursday, she goes and gets an account set up with Chase, we can literally deposit her commissions into her account the very next day. You think she's excited? You better believe she's excited. And because she's excited and she's motivated, she's going to go out there and make another sale much quicker than if we were to sit there and play around with her money. So, I mean, this is it right here in a nutshell. You can have this business and you can go to work, like all by yourself, a one-person store, a one-person shop. You can go out and you can do yourself with the pricing flexibility that you have. There's no reason not to go out and make 2 sales every week. Because when it comes down to it, if this is your business, for you to go out there and to get $500 in upfront money in exchange for an app, to keep yourself from having 0 app sales this week, to walk into one of the businesses, excuse me, to walk into one of the businesses where the guy is on the fence, to take $500 in trade, to take $500 in cash, to take, to give the guy $500 off, to get 5 referrals from the guy or 3 referrals from the guy, it's huge. You literally just took a situation that was paying you nothing. You put $500 in your pocket. You've got $200 in trade dollars that you're going to spend on you and your family going to eat in that restaurant. You've got another $300 in trade dollars that you can give away. Hey, it's someone that it's their wedding anniversary. Give them a $100 gift card to that restaurant. You're trying to close a deal with a hair salon. Tell them you'll give them a $100 gift card to the steakhouse. You see what I'm talking about? There's value. And that was a customer that was just sitting there on the fence. So if you're going to go out there and do it yourself, go out there and do it yourself. Sell yourself 2 deals a week. 50 weeks, that's 100 deals. Get a group of other sales reps in place. Help them to be successful. Some of these people are going to go out and work really hard. Some of these people are going to go out and just get a couple of sales. It all adds up. Some of these people are going to quit. It all adds up. You put it together, and that's 100 sales. Bottom line, this business is a numbers game, and all you must do is get out there and go to work. So that is the moral of my story. And that being said, we're going to go ahead and shut things down. It's a holiday weekend. We just had 4th of July. I hope you still have all of your fingers and your toes. I hope this discussion of numbers motivates you, seeing as how Monday is right around the corner. And the real question is, how is next week going to be any different than last week? Because now you know. So you can't hide from this information because you already know this information. So come Monday morning, get out there, get your business cards, get your flyers, and start walking through those doors. Make sure you've got apps that are downloaded onto your phone. So when people don't know what you're talking about, you can show them an app that you've made for another business. And if you don't have any apps, download the app for Second Street Bistro. And when you do, you're going to be getting push notifications from them every single day. Show that to your customer, how this business has taken their app and they are sending out push notifications every single day to the 2,000 customers that they have that have downloaded their app. And you know what, Mr. Prospect? You can do the same thing in your business as well. So that's what it's all about. Next week, we are going to have a webinar where we are going to start creating our information so that when you're hiring your sales reps and you want to train your sales reps, we are going to be putting together white label generic sales information. So you will be, and we're going to put it on a separate website, and you'll literally be able to send your sales reps there and train them utilizing the information that we are putting on that website. So that's what we're going to be doing next week, where we're going to be dealing with objections, going over doing the sales presentation, as well as actually scheduling our appointments. So I think in one session, we'll make 3 separate recordings so that we can actually have them broken down, and you'll be able to train your guys on setting their appointments and do that. And then you'll be able to train them in a different module on actually making their sales presentation, and then a third module on handling sales objections. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week. But again, folks, all this is a numbers game. The only difference between a business that's got over 100 apps and a business that's got less than 5, the only difference is numbers. In fact, I got an email from a new rep that's going to be joining the crew that's up in Canada, and that's what he was saying to me, is that he's been in the business for 2.5 years, and he was saying that his problem was that his one sales rep has scheduled fewer than 50 sales calls in 2.5 years. Now, they've closed to 20%. They've closed 2 out of 10. So they have 10 sales. So the reality is, whether you want to go make those 50 presentations in your first month and get 10 sales, or whether you want to stretch that out over 5 years, at the end of the day, you still end up with 10 sales. So if that's the case, what are you waiting for? Go to work today. And if you don't want to go sell, if you're afraid, if it's just not part of who you are and what you're all about, then go hire some people, train them up, give them a financial incentive, motivate them, give them the tools, brand them to your business, and send them on their way. Okay, we're going to go ahead and end this recording and this meeting. I hope all of you have a good rest of the day and a very, very productive week ahead.